Hey, call me Louis. This is my spot. LuiSpot.
What is your opinion of Dr. Martin Luther King?
I believe that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a good man. I believe that his heart was good. I believe that he loved our people with all of his being, and he wanted to see us breathe free. I believe that he tactically made one mistake, and that was that he attempted to judge the white man by his own good heart.
And what does that say about Dr. King?
That says that Dr. King was one of the greatest that ever came among us. But like all of us, he was not perfect.
What would Dr. King think of what you're doing? What would, if he were alive today, what the hateful words that you have used to describe people, what would he think?
As we say in the black community, you're too much. I mean, they've given you a list of questions. You're just making sure you go through every one of them. I hope they will give you a bonus, Mr. Carter. What would Dr. King think? You sit here and ask me what Dr. King would think. How could I possibly know what Dr. King would think? I think, though, that maybe Dr. King would understand that when you have a strong, militant, revolutionary, uncompromising voice out there, that it forces the enemy in a position to say, I'd better deal with Martin Luther King Jr. I certainly don't want to deal with the Black Power crew that's out there.
You claim to be a leader in the African-American community. But what kind of leader tells thousands attending a rally in self-defense if they touch you, take their guns? In other words, what type of real leader advocates violence when there are thousands of young lives at risk?
The Bible speaks of the Good Shepherd. And the Bible says that when the wolves attack the sheep, attack the flock, that the Good Shepherd is a responsible shepherd, and that shepherd works indeed to protect the flock from the attacking wolves. I notice you said in your statement that it was a statement in self-defense, and certainly in the Second Circuit Court and the Court of Appeals, Judge Chin and the higher court determined that my words were indeed words spoken in self-defense and self-defense only.
But what kind of leader uses those words when there are people's lives at risk?
A strong leader, a bold leader, an uncompromising leader.
And then the type of leader that as soon as the stuff hits the fan, he leaves.
Well, you know that I didn't leave, but you are playing the devil's advocate, as you do so often. You're sitting here in the place of the white man, saying what the white man wants you to say. You've seen in the newspapers, in the Post, in the Daily News, me in the middle of the police and the security holding me back. It was impossible to leave. I've even heard the lie that I left in a white Mercedes-Benz, which was early in the morning at 9 a.m. when I went to Federal Express. The police froze all vehicles behind the stage. No vehicle was allowed to leave that day. And as I faced the Klan and police in Jasper, Texas, after they had dragged our brother to his death, that is the way I faced them that day. And it is a propaganda scheme to say that I turned heels and ran, and I understand it's up to you to make sure that that gets out.
But let me backtrack for 1 second. You've started with, I'm here in the white man's shoes, and I guess you're headed with the Uncle Tom.
Do you work for New York One?
I do work for
Are you being paid for this interview?
But
do you get a check, sir?
Is that the best shot that you have, the Uncle Tom line?
I didn't call you Uncle Tom, but
you said
you've said it better than it could be said. You are here indeed. I believe you are a professional, but I do also believe that as a professional, you have a job, you have a duty. And I don't believe that you are a reporter first in the way that you have presented yourself to the community, a reporter who reports fairly. I believe that before being a reporter, you shouldn't be a reporter first. You are not a reporter first. You should be black first, with a responsibility. What kind of reporter would sit up and keep telling lies? What kind of reporter would try to confuse his people for a paycheck?
Well,
can you answer that, sir?
Again, I'm here to ask the question.
But can you answer that?
Again, one other
Will
question.
you answer that, sir?
Minister, I'm not here to answer the question.
What kind of
I'm here
reporter
to
would
ask the question.
put out false reports, sir?
I don't
You're
put
my
out
brother.
false
I love you, but don't do this, brother. Be a strong reporter. Be a revolutionary reporter. It was Paul Robeson who said the battlefield is everywhere. And so you must battle on the battlefield at New York 1.
You are somewhat a mystery. I believe you own a brownstone on Strivers Road here in Harlem.
You don't believe that. You know that.
Okay.
In Harlem.
Where else do you live? Do you have a residence in New Jersey?
No, sir, I do not.
Only in...
You know that if I had a residence in New Jersey, it would be back on the front page of the New York Post or Daily News, as they put right after my assassination attempt, put the picture of the building I was living in and a map in case someone got lost on their way to my door.
Okay, well, that raises a very legitimate point. How can you claim to attack whites, and you were living in New Jersey in a building predominantly...
Sir, I live in New York, and it's white. I live in the state of New York, and it's white.
That's not hypocritical?
Indeed, I live in the United States of America, and it's white-controlled and white-dominated. And I'm now interviewing on New York 1, which is as white as it can be, with a few black spots here and there.
Again, you, for the most part, remain a mystery. But can you tell us, since the last Million Youth March, what have you done here in New York as a leader? Not general themes, specifics.
I'm so happy to answer that question because my critics have called me an outsider. I must say to you that we have been working throughout the entire year with the black men's movement against crack, going door to door and street by street and block by block in the black community. That's not what I just started doing, my dear brother. That is what I've been doing all of my adult life and some of my young life as a teen, in addition to our anti-drug program. We're working to set up the free food program, only giving out food now and having free food programs here and there, but intending to lay the base from this mass mobilization, as Brother Kwame Ture taught us before he went on to the ancestors, now mass organization, free food program, feed the multitudes over the past year. We have done street patrols called crime units.
Been feeding the poor over the past year here in New York City.
My dear brother, sir, we have been doing that.
That brings up another...
And working with political prisoners that most talk about or read about. We have direct contact with them, speaking to them by telephone and in person as we go in and out visiting them and fighting for those who are on death row unjustly. Brother Gary Graham, Brother Mumia Abu Jamal, and many others of the political prisoners who are locked down. I'm not such a mystery. Black people in the black community have known me for a long time, and in the hip-hop community. But in a sense, the white man and you, to some degree, I don't believe you're really with them to that degree, are like Columbus. You're just discovering me just a few days ago.
How do you make your living? Where do you earn your money from?
How do you make your living? Where do you get your money from?
But again, I'm here in the...
Well, how much do they pay you?
I make a decent salary.
And I make a decent salary from the masses of black people who love me.
From donations?
From the masses of black people who love me and love the strong and bold, uncompromising stand to reestablish black power, black nationalism, Pan-Africanism, and black liberation theology in our youth and indeed in the masses of black people. So they make sure, my brother, that I have shoes on my feet and that I have food to eat.
You've lashed out at some of my colleagues in the press, but if you've done any research about me, you would know that I don't back down easily. So let me try it again.
That's why I want you to be a comrade in the struggle, because you're not a back down man. We need you, brother.
Let's answer the question.
The black nation needs you.
Where do you earn your living from, specifically?
Specifically from the masses of the people, as the pastor of the church, as the clergy of the church. As the clergy of the church, I have been wanting to be a minister since I was yay high.
Of what church?
And I am still the Church of Black Liberation Theology.
And so are you paid a salary?
I'm paid not only a salary, an expense account so that I can travel. So many people, as we do with ministers in every denomination, the suit that is on my back now was given to me Some businesses in the black community throughout America help support us. Brother, we have so much love and so much support. I almost said you would be surprised, but some of this you already know, but I understand you have to do it like that.
Maybe I should try again.
Try.
Will you please give us an answer to specifically how do you raise your money?
That's something they told you to press me on over and over again. I have simply said to you, it is very clear. I have given an emphatically clear answer. As a minister in the black revolution and the black liberation struggle for our people, and a spiritual and cultural teacher among my people, I specifically, this is not a roundabout answer, sir.
Well, is it donations?
If someone gives you a suit, sir, that's a gift. It's a donation. If they give you clothes, even the house I live in was paid for by someone else, as God is my witness.
Was it paid for by the Nation of Islam?
No, sir, it was not. But the Nation of Islam has indeed been my foundation, and what I have learned from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teachings and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is what gives me my base today and gives me my grace today by God's permission.
Minister Muhammad, how does all the anti-Semitic talk lift up black people?
I don't understand, sir, what you mean by anti-Semitic
you know
talk.
Exactly
I don't
what
know
I mean.
what you mean.
When I say anti-Semitic talk, and I don't want to repeat the comments that you've made in some of
Then you don't want to ask me the question.
About the cracker comments, the comments constantly about Jews keeping blacks down.
Let's look at that, sir, if you will. When I say, Brother Dominique, the cracker is a term of white origin. It is not a black term. And it is a term that has both a literal meaning and a figurative meaning. It means the cracker who cracks the whip or the whips with the old cat o' nine tails from chattel slavery. But it also indeed means one who cracks a whip today. Giuliani, Safer, who cracks a whip to keep his slaves or to keep his subjects or people he would like to be his slaves or subjects and would like to keep under his control, to crack that whip and keep them in line, to tell black elected public officials, I'm not going to meet you when Jallo was shot at 41 times, or Brother Abner Louima was sodomized. I'm not going to meet with you, but to immediately set up negotiations with the community, the so-called Jews in the Brooklyn area when something happens in their community. That's a cracker. We always said on the plantation, Lord, child, Lord have mercy. Here come the cracker man. He's the one who cracks the whip to keep you in line.
Okay, well, what is, besides the...
And the so-called Jews, I say so-called, not in mockery, Brother Dominic. I'm not playing to any cameras. They are the so-called Jews because we are the true Jews, the true Hebrews, the true and real Israelites whose birthright has been stolen by them. We are the true ones that fulfill Bible prophecy and scripture.
Isn't it a fact that you know, by throwing out those terms, you're guaranteed press coverage?
I'm not throwing out terms. I'm fighting age-old enemies, and I'm planting seeds in the minds and hearts of the youth and the masses of my people that we will not make the same mistakes again. As they say in the so-called Jewish community, never again, never again.
What happened in your life that gave you your personal experience, your perspective on Jews in your lifetime?
Study, experience, living, studying the teachings of Dr. Yosef Ben Yachanan, studying the teachings of Dr. John Henry Clark, studying the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Minister Malcolm X, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Dr. Barashango, and Browder, and Akbar, and many others. There are volumes of material, and even studying the book called The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, a book that thick with nothing but so-called Jew historians and scholars who explain their role in the black or the African Holocaust.
Do you have a Jewish friend?
No, sir, I do not have a Jewish friend. I am the black Jew. I am the black Hebrew. I am a member of the family of the black Hebrew Israelites. But if you're asking me, do I have a white so-called Jew friend who is not in that line of Semites, so I can't be anti-Semitic. Did you know that there are Semites in Africa? Did you know that there are Semites in Asia? That there are some Semites so black until they're blue black, purple black, and beautiful? These are people using a political term, anti-Semitism, when it's really anti-Kemitism and anti-black program.
Let me ask you this, and maybe you'll answer it and not attack me, but let me try this.
I haven't attacked you, brother.
The Uncle Tom.
I didn't call you an Uncle Tom.
You haven't used it yet, but
well, why accuse me of something I haven't done? Okay. You're just like they are in that instance, but you're not like that in other ways.
Well, here's the question. Besides the fact that you're an African American, what is the difference between you and David Duke?
The difference? Oh, that's a good question. No one has enslaved David Duke's people for over 400 years. David Duke's people, the white people, have not been in slavery under us, chattel slavery. David Duke's people, the white people, have not been robbed of their names, their language, their religion, their culture, their God, their folkways, their mores, their norms, and indeed robbed of the very power of their own being. So David Duke's people are in power. My people have experienced an African Holocaust, genocide, and we are being set upon and seized upon on a daily and consistent basis. One of the 7 points is reparations, 7 points of action to go after reparations for black people, fighting police brutality and harassment and the murder of our people. David Duke's people don't experience that. There is no comparison.
But critics will say he spreads hate, and so do you.
Sir, I can't be responsible for what the critics say. I can only be responsible for the actual facts.
But frankly, and you say you're a leader in the black community.
I didn't say that, sir. You said I'm a leader in the black community. Why are you giving me words here today?
Hasn't Rudy Giuliani...
Did I say I'm a leader in the black community, sir?
You have?
Did I say I'm a leader in the black community, sir?
You claim to be.
I have never said that, sir.
But can you answer my question?
But I don't want you to base your question on a false premise as you do when I'm not present. I'm here today.
When you hold a Million Youth March and you say you're going to have 50,000 people, as you did last year.
And we did have 50,000 people. You know we didn't have 6,000 people. And you follow what the city says? You parrot what Giuliani and Safer say?
I don't parrot what anyone says.
Well, where did you get the 6,000 figure?
I make my own observation.
But you just told me the city said it. Now you say you got it from your own observation. Now, which one is actually true, Mr. Dominique Carter?
What's actually true is I make my own observations from looking from up
and
to down.
And you saw only 6,000 people, sir?
I didn't say what I saw.
How many did you see, sir?
But see, this is very interesting because you're...
Brother, we love you. Don't do that. Let's hurry and get to your question.
How do you go? And it's amazing. Is this something that you do with blacks that disagree with you? You have to be a Tom or a boot-licking, buck-dancing person. Well, where does this come from? I mean, you've made this charge several times to me during this interview. You know absolutely nothing about...
I call you boot-licking?
No, you haven't. But you said, I hope they give you...
Am I disappointing you, Mr. Carter? And since I'm not saying those things, you're just going to give them to me. Is that what's happening?
No.
They're going to be angry with you when you come back because you couldn't get this across. So you're going to give these things to me. I haven't called you that, brother.
You just said...
Not one time.
You said they sent you with a list of questions, and I hope they give you a bonus when you get back to the station.
Well, does your wife hope that they'll give you a bonus?
You don't know anything about me.
Brother, I know that you have a family, and a bonus could help.
It's time for break.
What do you guys think? Share thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Let's have a proper discussion about this without having me impose my opinions and ideas on this matter. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it so that the YouTube algorithm can know that this video was so much interesting and share it far wide to more avid viewers just like you. Subscribe and click the notification bell if this is your first time watching these videos, and so that you can be notified as soon as we make a new upload on videos just like this. My name is Louis. Until next time, peace out.